Hello, this is Jonathan Soulen. Welcome to Ep7 of the SoulTrain. Today, we profile the life of Margery Foust. I did not know anything about Margery before I did my research. Margery was a woman whose early life was marked with tragedy and heartbreak, but she would go on to live a rich and fulfilling life. Interested? Hop on board the Soul Train. Okay, let's profile Margery Foust Soulen. Let's put her in context. Margery is the mother of my grandfather, Harold Soulen. And she was born in Indiana to Jacob Faust and Lavinia Young. They were a big family, and the whole family moved from Indiana to Galena, Kansas, to make their mark. And so here is a little baby picture of baby Margery. Isn't she cute? All right, the next photograph I have of Margery is this, which I believe to be their wedding photograph. Now, in this photograph, um, Lewis is 19 and Margery is 15. Their anniversary is April 30th, 1892. 1 month earlier, in a few days, on March 20th, their child was born, stillborn. Henry Louis Soulen died March 20th, 1892. So that means child out of wedlock. That means family controversy. That means drama and gossip and all of the challenges associated with that. You can imagine. So they are married April 30th after already having lost a child. 3 years later, in 1895, they do have a second child. His name is Porter. Um, Porter is 10 months old when he is teething. They call in a doctor. The doctor lances the gum of the child, and the 10-month-old Porter Soulen bleeds to death. So, such tragedy, such unimaginable heartbreak and sorrow to start the life of Margery and Louis Soulen. And so I'd like to show you the two headstones, one for Henry Louis Soulen, um, and the other one for Porter Soulen. And they are in the Oak Hill Cemetery in Galena, Kansas. So how do you move on from that? Well, I think you move on from that with courage and faith. And that's what they did. Um, There, about a year later, Porter dies in 1896. In 1897, Dora is born, and Dora will survive through adulthood. And then 2 years later, Jacob Thrale is born. And then 4 years after that, thank goodness, in 1903, my grandfather was born. And so they would have their three children in a full, active, noisy household. And here they are in the front yard. And so much happened in this house. Lovely, fun activities. And I can't wait to tell you about them. So, in doing research for these videos, I learned about a database, an online database called Newspapers by Ancestry. And it's just an incredible database of newspapers. Um, Newspapers back in the day contained everything. And if you wanted to know what was going on, you wrote a little snippet and submitted it to the paper, and they'd publish it. Um, just about a paper version of Facebook today. And so here's a clip of searching for Mrs. Louis Soulen and all of the returns that come in. There were hundreds, maybe not dozens of articles that profile the life. Let me just share several that really give you an insight to the Lewis and Margery Soulen household. So I'm going to run through these different articles as best as I can. I'm going to flash them up, hit pause if you want to read them. There's a progressive lunch party where the local ladies come to be entertained from 1907. Another one from 1909. Um, in 1913, a baby girl is found on the doorstep, and significantly, Margery Soulen was caretaker of this infant uh, before she found a more permanent home. I love this article about a basketball team and Dora Soulen being part of the church basketball team. That says everything about this family. And Dora wanted to play basketball, and her parents supported her and put it in the paper so the girls could play basketball. We are in the period of World War One, and their son Jake joins the army. And in this article, he had an accident, and it was portrayed by one of the papers that he had lost an eye. And Margery and Lewis wrote in to clarify he had not lost an eye, and he would be fine. And to close out the articles, we have one announcing a visit of my grandfather in 1924, coming by to visit his parents, and that was put in the paper. Oh, hold on. I forgot. My favorite newspaper article. Get a load of this. The Solon family held a ghost party. This was going to be in 1916. My grandfather Harold would have been 13 years old, and I'm sure he was so excited. And I think Dora was also there. But the members of the Methodist Sunday School decided to host a ghost party. And you'll need to pause so you can read this whole article, but it is just wonderful. They had it all arranged, and decorations and cold, clammy hands and seance and other wonderful things. But what a fun time at the Margery and Lewis household for the ghost party. As we close out this video of Margery Foust Soulen, I just would like to revisit this photograph of the family. It's important to remember that they were surrounded by family. Louis Soulen was the youngest of the Soulen brothers. His older brothers were there to provide guidance and support. And I do believe that there was a strong bond there in the Soulen brother and in the Soulen family of those that were there. The Foust family was huge. If you recall that gigantic family portrait in front of the Louis Soulen home. So they were surrounded by family throughout all of these years. My grandfather Harold would get married in 1925. And not long after that, the Great Depression would hit. This next photo is one of my favorites of Margery and Louis Soulen. Louis would die in 1935, and Margery would remarry. And here is a photo of the family in Joplin. After Louis Soulen passed away, Margery would remarry and marry Mr. Luther Pickering. I'd like to read a note from my Uncle Bob, who says that he remembers his grandmother well. However, she always seemed somewhat quiet to the grandchildren. I looked hard and spent a long time searching for an obituary for Margery Foust, but wasn't able to find one. So we'll close with this picture of their tombstones, and Margery would be married next to her husband Louis. And so I will remember this couple, Margery and Lewis, for providing the nurturing and loving household that allowed my grandfather, Harold Soulen, to become a Methodist minister. So, Margery Foust Soulen, a life well lived. Until next time, the soul train rolls on.
Away down yonder in the state of Arkansas, where my great-grandpa met my great-grandma. They drink apple cider and they get on a jag, and they dance all night to the salty dog rag. They play an old fiddle like you never heard before. They play the only tune that they ever did know. It's a ragtime ditty and the rhythm don't drag. Now here's the way you dance to the salty dog rag.